So this is a bit interesting about this whole thing with, Cohen. I'm going to give a speech in front of the House Intel Committee and all this, whatever the hell it was. And Lynn Patton, very connected person, has an interesting Facebook post. She's related to this whole thing by being right next to these people, rubbing shoulders and elbows with these people. Trump is who I'm talking about. And Cohen. Dear haters, since so many of you are asking, I'm only going to say this once. So please pay attention before any of you start breaking out the champagne. 1, I will be the first to concede that if actual physical evidence exists that President Trump directly... Why can't I see that? Can't finish the rest of it. It's like the title, but I can't see the rest of it. Anyways, here's the main thing. Okay, here it is. 1, I'll be the first to concede that if actual physical evidence exists that the president directly instructed Cohen to lie to Congress, then yes, it would be the only accusation made against the president over the past 3 years that would worry me. Otherwise, it remains the word of one person over another with zero evidence, period. One of whom is going to jail for perjury and fraud, and that would be Mr. Cohen. She is going to tell you why he did what he did. Cohen had to make all that crap up. Number 2, more notably, it should be known that Donald Trump does not use email and never has, nor, up until his inauguration at least, does he text. Therefore, the likelihood of some smoking gun email or text is slim to none. It should also be known that any and all visitors to the West Wing must check their cell phones upon entry in a secure locker before meeting with the president. Omaroso was not a visitor. Number 3, many of you may already know that I considered Michael Cohen to be one of my very best friends. Countless people can confirm that we were virtually inseparable during my employment at Trump, and that he is single-handedly responsible for introducing me to the Trump family and effectively changing my entire life. I would be lying if I didn't admit that my heart still breaks for him and for his family, with whom I have grown extremely close. Number 4, what many of you may not be aware of is the fact that I can personally confirm that the only reason Michael Cohen, quote unquote, turned on the president of the United States is because Mueller threatened to throw his wife in jail for up to 30 years. Period. She is the co-guarantor of a $20 million personal loan that Mueller discovered Michael secured back in 2015 by falsely inflating the value of his taxi medallions, effectively making her part and parcel to the federal charge of making false statements to a financial institution, to which Cohen ultimately pled guilty. This is also the reason why Cohen's long-term taxi medallion partner, Evgeny Gene Friedman, was also granted immunity. Number 5, Michael Cohen also told me, after they raided his apartment, that the reason why he elected to pay Stormy Daniels $130,000 by using his home equity loan, effectively committing bank fraud, instead of easily using the over $5 million in cash he had sitting in various stateside bank accounts, is because his wife controls their finances, and he simply did not want her to notice the missing money, as many husbands wouldn't consider to whom it went. Period. Moreover, he confessed to me that he never imagined in a million years that Donald Trump would actually win the presidency, and that the misappropriation of his home equity loan would ever be exposed, since thousands of Americans misuse this type of line of credit to pay for colleges, boats, cars, and vacations every single day. Number 6, by Cohen's own admission, Trump ceased all interest in communication in constructing Trump Tower, Moscow, in June of 2016, over a month before officially being declared the Republican nominee for president. To that end, it is not legal for him to explore nor deny any for-profit construction projects during the campaign, as he was still a civilian global real estate mogul. Number 7, BuzzFeed themselves officially admitted on CNN this morning, which when she wrote this, January 18th of this year, 2019. Well, I assume it was 2019. It says January 8th, I'm pretty sure. BuzzFeed admitted on CNN this morning that they have yet to independently confirm or see any evidence that corroborates their story. Number 8, most significantly, Mueller refused to recommend any leniency nor lack of jail time, as he did for Michael Flynn, for Michael Cohen when he was sentenced to 3+ years in federal prison just last month. This would lead most legal experts to reasonably conclude that the special counsel deems information gleaned from Michael Cohen of little consequence or contribution. Number 9, lastly, given that Michael Cohen is barred from discussing the Russian investigation when he testifies before the House Oversight Committee, it's safe to conclude that his testimony on February 7th will effectively amount to nothing more than political theater, which, she's talking from January when he talks February 7th, which maybe that's what was postponed till recently, whatever, will effectively amount to nothing more than political theater and partisan fodder for late-night hosts simply to embarrass a sitting president over past behavior he may or may not have engaged in as a private citizen. Number 10, in closing, Michael Cohen always wanted to be famous. Sadly, he has gotten his wish. I personally stopped communicating with Michael when it became known in May of 2018 that he was defrauding various companies, from a Korean defense firm to a global pharmaceutical company, for millions of dollars by falsely claiming he could leverage his connection with the president to their favor. To me, that was the moment I knew our character, principles, and loyalty to one another had finally diverged. Much like the moment I ultimately realized that Omaroso was lying to me about the existence of the N-word tape. Like Cohen, it is no secret that Omaroso was one of my very, very best friends. She and I developed the closest relationship out of everyone during the campaign, transition, and newfound administration. From sharing hotel rooms to texting and speaking up to 80 times per day, I considered her to be like a sister. Michael Cohen was like my family. With both of them often declared their loyalty, while both of them often declared their loyalty to this president and his family in public, I realize now that neither of them fully understood the definition. You don't give loyalty to get loyalty in return. You do it simply because it's the right thing to do. I'm not a rich person, nor am I poor. People who have known the Trump family for less than a year are now signing multi-million-dollar book deals. I've known them for 10 years. I know what's written in their prenubs and their wills. I know what they think of certain people, the details of their family lives, good or bad. I know their medical histories and even passcodes to their emails, credit cards, computers, and homes. Not once has it ever crossed my mind to share that information in exchange for monetary gain. Not even in the multiple millions, nor will it ever. Feel free to call me either the dumbest loyalist on the face of the earth or the poorest member of their inner circle. I, on the other hand, simply choose to call myself a normal friend. Again, who? Lynn Patton. Proud of you. I don't think it's anything they can prove, just more uncorroborated third party, etc. Lynn, you are a true and loyal friend of the Trump family and others. It's sad that you've learned the hard way that others you considered family and friends don't have the same integrity. That's it, yeah. That's how you find out who your real friends are, right? Are they just getting close to you to use you to take themselves up a notch or 2 or 3 or 10? Or are they really there to support you? This lady, as she said, I could be rich right now. I could be doing book deals. I could be utilizing my closeness with the president. Nope. Not for $1 million, not for multiple millions. Won't do it. This is the only time I ever heard that Cohen had to turn on Trump because Mueller had him over a barrel and said, we will put your wife in prison for up to 30 years. Give us something. Give us anything. Well, I heard him say this one time. Do you have it on tape? No. You have an email? No. Text message? No. Well, I guess we'll use that. Which is why he's getting the little 3 years or whatever. And guess what? He'll be out in probably a year. So, anyways, I never heard this. But this is exactly how the deep state operates. They come with you and tell you they'll do something to one of your family members. You'll be facing prison time. You'll be doing this. We need something. What do you need from me? Make it up. We don't care. Give us anything. So that's what he did. He's got this huge equity line of credit, or that he fudged some documents, whatever, to get, then used the money for other things, right? Like this thing said, how many Americans didn't do that? You know, what's the home equity line for, according to the bank? Home upgrades and repairs. Okay. They give you the money, you go out and buy a new car. You went out and buy a freaking boat. You went out and did something. So, anyways, I mean, it's so minor, it's so stupid. It's ridiculous. But they got him. And he flipped. He has no information, so he had to make some crap up. And this lady's saying, I could have been doing the same thing like the rest of these snakes, but it is immoral, it is wrong, and I will not do it. And I know for a fact why Cohen had to flip, and here it is. They threatened to throw his wife in jail. Oh. So my question would be to anyone else out there. If that were you, men out there who are married, honestly, wouldn't you do the same thing? Okay, I can get 3 years. I'll probably be out in a year. You know, good time, good behavior. I'll be out in a year. Or they're going to threaten to go after us to the fullest extent of the law. Recommend 30 years for my wife. Plus, I'll get more years in prison. Our kids, you know. Imagine the thoughts that go through him. All right, before we all really, you know, throw Cohen under the bus, and believe me, we've all thrown him under the bus because of what he did. But when they got you over a barrel and they threatened to put your wife in prison for up to 30 years, you're going to do jail time as well with her. What about your kids? All right. Then he said you had like a 17-year-old kid or whatever. He's not, you know, he's not even 18. He can't even get out of the house yet. You're going to throw him into foster care, right? They start throwing that stuff at you. You will say and do anything to get out of it. What do you need me to do, babe? We need some dirt on Trump. What kind of dirt? You got it. But I don't have any proof because it didn't happen. I don't have emails. I have no text. I have no voice recording. Nothing. I have nothing. But I'll say it for you. I'll say, okay, that's good enough. Which is why you saw Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the criminal Democrats, grilling him. Did you ever hear Trump say that? Oh, okay. No, can't say that. No, can't say that either. All right. He has nothing. It was a complete crap show. Like I said the other day. And while the guy is lying against Trump just by saying he said certain things, he's lying. He has nothing to prove it anyway. So nothing's going to come of it. So again, he had to do what he had to do so his wife, at the very least, would not be in prison over something like this article, this lady says, just about all Americans have done with an equity line of credit or whatever. You said you were going to use it for one thing and then changed your mind to use it for something else. Which, of course, couldn't you just argue in court? Yeah, we changed our mind. We were going to use it for this, and we decided after we got, you know what? We don't really need it as bad as we thought we did. Let's use it for something else. I mean, you could argue that. But again, they're going to throw you in jail. You're going to be locked up. All his liberal friend judges are going to make sure, oh, no, you're a flight risk. You can't even go home. No, no bail, nothing. They will scare you into doing everything that they want you to do. And I think that's what happened with Mr. Cohen, unfortunately. Take care.